Hi friends, it's Jason, and I wanted to talk to you today about another sequel that I just recently finished. And as many of you know, and I've said this before on my BookTube and Book Talk, that TJ Klune, who wrote The House in the Cerulean Sea, is almost becoming an instant read for me. I really enjoyed this book, and I recommended this as much as I could to people because it's a fantastic story. And recently, he released the sequel to House in the Cerulean Sea, to Somewhere Beyond the Sea, and I enjoyed this one just as much as the first one. The premise of the book is there is this government official that has to go to an orphanage for magical children to see if how the orphanage is being run, if it's following the rules of the ministry that oversees magical children and magical beings. And the official is very, by the book rules, but the children and magical beings that are in this orphanage and the owner that runs this orphanage kind of wears that person down and gives them a new look on life. And this guy's name is Linus, and he works for the department in charge of magical youth. And they're very strict, and it's very poignant with the world that's going on right now. And I find that TJ Klune's books are very poignant with everything that's going on in the world around us. This is a queer representative book, and there is a strong theme of morality and love and not putting your own biases on other people, and the overarching government force that tries to control everybody and keep them in line. And I loved this book, and I immediately had to go out and get this book when it came out. It's beautiful yellow sprayed edges on here, and it's a really, really lovely book. The sequel takes us a bit beyond. Now, for those of us that have read the first book, this could almost be a standalone. But thankfully, TJ Klune wrote a second one, and I even think there may be one beyond this based on where this story goes. I love the artwork on this book. It's stunning. They're both very pretty books, and as you can see, I've got several TJ Klune books now based on reading House in the Cerulean Sea the first time. I've got a few more of his stories. I've got a few more that I've got to get, but Somewhere Beyond the Sea takes us back to the orphanage and to the individual that runs the orphanage, Arthur, who is now having to go beyond just being the owner of the orphanage. He has to go to this inquiry that the government organization is bringing him before to see if he's still going to be allowed to run the orphanage. They also send an investigator to the town and the orphanage and the island to see if they can in some way trap Arthur into showing that he's doing something nefarious and against their rules. But like I said, this book, it has some really great themes in it, and basically the underlying premise is that, even though you're diverse You come from different worlds. You love who you love. That shouldn't matter, and you create this little community and family out of all of these found people. And that is the main theme of this book, is the trope of found family and found love. And I really, really enjoyed this story. And if that sounds like something that you might enjoy, if you haven't read House in the Cerulean Sea yet, check that out. And if you have read this, the sequel you will definitely enjoy, Somewhere Beyond the Sea. And if that sounds like something you might be interested in, definitely check it out. And I hope you enjoy it as much as I did.